Hey, everybody. Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me okay? I'm still working out the audio with this laptop, so it's probably going to take a minute to get everything working. So I'm relying on you guys to let me know in the comments if you can hear me. But we did it. 100,000 subscribers. We made it. We're here. Um, I never actually thought that the channel was going to get even close to this big. So that was a very pleasant surprise, and we crossed the road from 50,000 to 100,000 in less than a year, which blew my mind. That was absolutely crazy. Holy cow, Nova, it's midnight for you, dude. That you're more dedicated than I am. Holy cow. No, you're good, Chris. You got to stay awake somehow, right? Corey, let's see. You've got an idea for an assessing survival, which brings me to the purpose of this live stream. So we just crossed 100,000, which is awesome. And I wanted to talk to all of you about what your video suggestions are. There are lots and lots of comments about video suggestions. I cannot possibly read them all or process them all. And so I figured that by gathering a bunch of the more dedicated viewers of the channel within one conversation, we could come up with some ideas that sound like things that I would enjoy making and that you would enjoy viewing. So yeah, I've got my Google Docs open and I am ready to brainstorm with you guys. I want to keep doing more Thrive Rate and Alive videos. I know I want to do T-Rex and Chem. I want to do Mape Macrothorax in the Cenozoic at some point. Innistransevia in the Triassic. I think throwing Gorgonopsians into the crocodile world would be really, really fun. I should be writing these down too, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, so we've got Tyrannosaurus in the Chem formation. I just think that interaction with Spinosaurus and Carcharodontosaurus would be really interesting. We've got Innostransevia in the Triassic. I haven't decided on the formation yet, but something with a lot of large pseudosuchians for sure. And then Mape in the Cenozoic. So those are the three. Then, of course, we have my episode of the Kawashni trials. That's probably not going to be for at least another couple of months. And then I've already got, what's it called? Right, Mosasaurs and Subnautica. That's coming up too in September. And I'm thinking I'm going to do more of like a speculative evolution with real mosasaurs. And then at the end, I'll throw in a surprise segment with the Jurassic World mosasaur here. So you're going to end up getting both, which should be really fun. You're one of the greats. Oh, you guys are so nice. You are way nicer than I honestly deserve. It's noon here. I'm at work. Nothing to do, so lethargy is epic. Suggestions, you say? Yoga, jumping jacks. Um, don't pinch yourself though. That's probably just going to hurt a little bit. Yoga's good. Yoga's good for waking you up if you're at work. Work yoga is something that I used to do in the office when I worked at the university all the time. It was awesome. I wanted to scroll through some videos before I got some shut eye, but I shall stay a while for this celebration. We're happy to have you. Thanks for coming, Nova. Ooh, hold on. I saw a comment about leopards. Leopards in the Triassic. That'll be interesting. I feel like they do really well. And I would recommend Overseer's video about big cats in the Mesozoic if you haven't seen it already. That was very, very, very solid. Dinosuchus hatcheri in the Chem, which was actually my first post in the community. Okay, let me write that down. Chem and the Triassic are both really popular today. I wonder how it would compete. Tebnis bundles in the Pebis system of Miocene South America. That would be really cool, honestly. Miocene South America was crazy. Holy cow. The ocean was terrifying with Megalodon and Leviathan, and then even the freshwater systems had Purosaurus, which was horrifying. So we see a venom in the Mesozoic. Is that a video idea or just something that's really cool? How's the hybrid? My hybrid is done. I have fully designed mine. I just haven't finished the script for my question trial video. I think we're kind of waiting to see how Overseer's challenge with the air hybrid ends up going. Hello, nice shirt. Oh, thank you. Here, let me stand up so you can actually Got this at Kohl's. Yep. So for those of you who don't know, I'm a massive Dragon Ball fan. Uh, Currently watching through Z with my wife. We're immensely enjoying it. I love Super. Daima was great. We're gonna watch the OG Dragon Ball together at some point. I mean, we have Cynonathus in the Triassic period. That's true. That probably would play fairly similarly to a really small Gorgonopsian. Although Cynonathus actually was not that small. I always think it's like large rat size, and it was big. It was pretty big. Not Inostrancevia size, but big. Face reveal. I guess it kind of is. I used to do live streams a lot actually on the channel before I left on my mission in like 2018. It's like 2017 to 2018. I was doing live streams probably every month. Um, but yeah, they're not up anymore. I think I'm gonna start doing this again more regularly because they're fun. I love talking to you guys and just goofing around and hanging out. So yeah, doing these more would be really fun. Oh, you were watching my new video and you got the notification. Yeah, I probably should have scheduled that video for later this weekend because I knew I was going to do this today since you crossed 100,000 while I was asleep last night. Um, but I was just like, what the heck? I want to release it early. I haven't released very much in August, so hopefully that'll help make things up. Will you? Oh, wow. It teleported. I gotta go back up to the catch up on the comments. Have you seen Primitive War? I have not. I've heard it's pretty good though. I hope to eventually check it out at some point. Talk about Orcoraptor. Sure, I love Megaraptorans. That would be a Orcoraptor video because Orcoraptor is cool. I wonder if there's a giant Cynonathus lurking somewhere else. Probably. If there's a prehistoric animal or just an animal in general, there's probably a giant individual or a giant version of it somewhere. Do you like Orcoraptor? I do. Love what you're doing. Have never seen a bad video from you to keep it up. Oh, well, you haven't seen a lot of my old videos then, because some of those are pretty bad, but I appreciate the very kind words. Thank you. W on the 100K. Thank you. Would be cover if you could cover. Would be cool if you could cover fictional dinosaur species like the V-Rex, Disney's Carno, etc. I have done videos on, but not very frequently. I just don't enjoy them as much. It kind of goes for like T-Rex on Skull Island. I'm seeing from Man King 99 as well. Vividen do some more vids on pre-dinosaur creatures. Yes, I want to. I really want to do a focus on like early Triassic stuff and Permian stuff because I think they're really cool and they're probably the most underrated time periods when it comes to creatures on land anyway. Also, who do you think wins between Pliosaurus and Moses? I'm assuming with these kinds of questions, it's usually like biggest versus biggest. So I'm going to go with Pliosaurus. Pliosaurus funke, or like the referred specimens to Pliosaurus, like freaking. I feel like they'd be a little bit more agile too with their swimming style. Hi, will Obsidian Dawn be released to smaller online bookstores outside the US? Yes, it will. I'm working on getting it uploaded to Ingram Spark, which will distribute it to a lot of brick and mortar retailers internationally for paperback, and it'll also be on Kobo. I haven't uploaded it yet there, but it'll be there by the time the book releases in mid-September. Would Inostrancevia being in the Cenozoic be a bit too predictable? That was the thought that I came up with first, and then I realized that Madly Mesozoic had actually already done that video, so I feel like there's no point in really redoing it. Something I want to do is take the future Predator from Primeval and throw that into the Permian and see if it would actually survive. I think that could be really fun. Dinocyrus in Hell Creek. That would be really cool. Let's write that down for sure. W. I got an idea for a video. How would dinosaurs fare in the modern era today? Madly actually already did that one as well as one of his very first videos. It's really fun. You should check it out. Is there any good tree spot during the Triassic for leopards? That's a good question because vegetation, especially in terms of tree-like plants, was pretty different in the Triassic. It was mostly like really big club mosses and tree ferns and kind of things. They didn't have the angiosperm trees that we know of. So I wonder if the branches would be a good place for them to climb at all. Lisa VC on the Chem Chem. Okay, let me write that down. Also, I don't want to gush, and we're all doing this together. There are no bad ideas until there are bad ideas. I'm sure there will be a couple out there because we've already had Giga and Hell Creek. T-Rex is going to go to the Chem next, and then I think I'm going to cut the Spino in the Winkle formation. I mean the Candeleros formation. So kind of a rock paper scissors thing. Hi Vividen, are you a paleontologist? Also, hello Bryce. Thank you for joining the channel, and it's good to have you here on the stream. Yeah, I would consider myself a media paleontologist. I go on digs. I've helped out with papers and stuff. I do research individually, and I'm a paleontologist in the same sense that Gregory S. Paul or Brian Curtis are paleontologists. Their degrees are not technically in paleontology, but they are paleontologists. I don't think anybody's going to argue that they're not. Um, Even if GSP has some very, very hot takes that have have gotten him in some interesting positions over the past couple of years in the paleo community. Spinosaurus and Hill Creek to start some drama. That would be dramatic. Gorillas in Cretaceous. Okay. I think that might be a little too similar to what Madley did with the apes in the Mesozoic. Brains? Yes. Giga, North America and Spino in South America. Exactly. Vividen, have you heard of the Siach Micorum? And if so, could you do a bit on it? I have heard of Siach. It was really funny, actually. When I was working at the B Museum, it was kind of a really popular thing for people to just randomly ask questions about Siach on posts that the museum made that had nothing to do with the animal. So there's a little bit of PTSD from there. But yeah, I'd consider doing a video about Siach. Siach video. Will you do on the accurate and Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus surviving Hell Creek and the Morris information? That could be interesting. If I'm putting Spinosaurus in the Candeleros formation, I don't know if I would also want to put it in Hell Creek. As far as Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus, Overseer did a video throwing that to the Mesozoic, and it was pretty good. Yeah, Dragon Ball shirt. Yeah, that's me. I love Dragon Ball. Non-mammalian Cynodonts in the Cenozoic. Oh, okay. Kind of a I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Well, that's too dang bad kind of deal. That would be interesting. Grandfather, you have returned. If you could write slash direct a paleo documentary, on what dinosaurs and era would you like to focus on? I'm honestly going to say Triassic. I probably wouldn't focus on the dinosaurs so much. I would focus on pseudosuchians and all the crazy stuff that's been going on there. Did Ryan Reynolds just text me? No. Okay, that's fine. What was I talking about? Right. Yeah, I think Crocodile World would be really awesome because nobody ever talks about it, and it's super cool. I'm sure you thought of this before, but how about a video on if T-Rex could survive in the Morris information? That would be fun. Get some T-Rex versus Allosaurus versus Sauropod, Stegosaurus stuff. That would be pretty cool. Some people might get mad for making another T-Rex video, but whatever. Time Traveler's Guide to Mesozoic Australia would be really cool. I'm so sad that the Time Traveler's Guide to the Morse information flopped so badly. That was the worst performing video I have made in like 6 months. And I put so much time into it and so much effort into it, and like nobody watched it. So I don't know if I'm ever going to make another one of those, which is so sad because I thought it was a really cool concept. I liked it. I liked making it, but uh, financially, it wasn't a wise investment, unfortunately. Nice shirt, thank you. Vividen, could you please make Arlecchino? That looks like Italian and Morris information. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what that is. It's a Genshin Impact character? What? What? That's not what I expected. Okay, that makes me feel better for not knowing what it was. I was like, is it like some kind of crazy theropod I've never even heard of? Okay, no, it's Genshin Impact. Are you gonna watch Dragon Ball Heroes or Dragon Ball GT? I've watched a good chunk of Dragon Ball Heroes. It is fun. It's really bad, but it's fun. None of the writing makes any sense. The power scaling is horribly inconsistent, even in the same episode. Dragon Ball Heroes is like if you just got a bunch of 5-year-olds, gave them action figures, and told them to like make a Dragon Ball anime. I don't know if I'm ever gonna watch GT. I just haven't heard very many good things about it. I've seen clips from it, and I'm like, okay, it looks fine. I feel like Daima's just a better version of what GT was trying to be. Will you